Well, this just came at a great time. Being a scout and playing college baseball, I've gotten my hands on a lot of the wrong things: testosterone, methyl, decabol, 1T, enhancers. It's a huge misconception in the baseball world that you need to be big and hit a lot of home runs. I didn't realize that until I got involved in scouting. As I was scouting, I was sitting there at a game, my last game, and I was asking a scout that's done this for so long, and we were writing off a player because it's called a max body. It looked like it was enhanced. And I asked, why doesn't anyone educate these guys so we don't waste our time sitting here watching them? And he said, we don't have any time. We don't have any time, but they had time to talk about what restaurant they were headed to after. At that point, I just started NeoLife, so that was my last time scouting, because I felt like there's a need and there's a passion to help these guys live out a dream that I wanted to live. But yeah, I got my hands on things that were destroying my liver, hurting my joints, and I had no idea. So now with this protein that came out, now we can honestly go to these guys. Not only does it taste great, Kendra just talked about the recovery. Paul spoke yesterday. He's a young athlete, a collegiate athlete, and he was on the product for a month, and he was just talking about the recovery of it. But you're right, there's a lot of proteins out there. This one just mixes so simply, a lot like the NeoLife shake. It tastes good. It doesn't clump. A lot of the protein powders athletes are on, they're plugging their nose, trying to choke it down, just because they want the protein. So I think with this, the new sports protein out there, we can honestly look these guys in the eyes and have something to offer them that's safe, something that's going to actually benefit them, not hurt them. And it's come at a great time, so we're excited.
What I found specifically with the products was that the shake tastes great. It's a lot smoother. It blends up really frothy, so it's like a treat. It's almost like a dessert shake, but it tastes really good, and it's kind of fun to make every morning after my workouts. I throw in a banana or fruit with the shake and almond milk, and I really, really love it. With the Performance Pack, I trust it, I love it, it works, I feel great, and I feel like taking these products I can recover quicker. I'm not as sore after I lift in the gym. I'm not as fatigued or tired after I do a cardio or a swim training session, which can last up to 2 hours. So I think the biggest thing for me and the biggest takeaway is the recovery that the products provide. Like, I feel better, I don't sleep as much during the day, I might not sleep at all, and I just feel great. About 2 weeks ago, I was competing in Bahamas, and I swam to a season best time in the 100 breaststroke, which is my best event. It's the fastest I've swum in 4 years, so it's been very, very positive. Also, it's a new Masters World Record. I'm going to say that with a little asterisk on the side. So I've actually broken the Masters World Record in the 100 breast 4 times over the past 8 weeks, and the little asterisk is there. Thank you. Unfortunately, it's not going to be official because Masters World Records you have to complete or perform the result at a Masters competition. And because I've been competing for the Olympics and competing and racing at events with kids half my age, basically, and beating them, I must say. So that's been kind of fun.
Muscle match is important, and if you think about the name muscle match, and it refers to the protein and the amino acids, then you get where we're headed with it. And if you go back and remember how I talked about the evolution of our discoveries are based on one thing you discover, and you continue to work on that, and you improve it, and you make it better, and it leads to another, and you continue to improve it and make it better, and it leads to another. Well, the performance protein is really a reflection of that. The last time we really dug into looking at performance proteins for purely muscle development in sport, out popped Super Ease. And Super Ease is formulated to deliver the amino acid profile of a whole egg. And the reason we did that is because whole egg is known to have a very good bioaffinity for the entire body. For the amino acids it provides are very good for the entire body. But over the years, we've continued to research and look at what goes on, how amino acids are used, the ratios and forms in which they're used, and how the end product turns into, like Lisa's muscles here, right, which is the goal. And as we've done that, we've learned exactly what the amino acid profile is in that muscle tissue, which is a big step over just delivering the amino acid profile of eggs. So the amino acid profile, the types of amino acids, the forms they're delivered in, and the ratios of those are set to exactly fit the needs of human muscle. It matches human muscle, muscle match. And that's why it's such a big improvement. It's just one of those evolutionary steps that we continue to make, and at some point we'll probably improve on that too. It won't be real soon because we're at the leading edge of that technology already. But that's just part of the process. And by doing that, we can focus more on the needs of athletes. We can help them maximize the production of lean body mass and maximize the retention of lean body mass while they continue to provide all the other amino acids that their bodies need for other things. Amino acids play roles in lots and lots of things, all the enzymes and things that go on in your body, the reactions that catalyze energy production and so on, are all amino acid dependent. So while it fulfills all of those still, just like Super Ease did, it really focuses on delivering the exact amino acid profile that matches human muscle.
Well, yes, absolutely. I think performance protein would be ideal for anyone who's bodybuilding. I believe, not from having done any bodybuilding myself, but from a theoretical perspective, it would be ideal to take both pre and post workout, because anyone who wants to build muscle really needs one dose of protein is probably not enough during the day. And in fact, we know that if you take sort of at 3-hour intervals a good quality protein, you can actually really stimulate maximum muscle synthesis. So as a pre-workout product, I would take performance protein maybe a couple of hours before the workout, and then up to around about 1 hour after the workout, take another performance protein. Particularly if you're a man, we were giving the message to women that women don't want to build the big muscles, but definitely for your brother, two servings, one pre-workout, one post-workout. About 3 hours between the two servings would be really stimulating this muscle building. So it would be from what we know from studies, from a theoretical point of view, that would be ideal.
My dad and I own a small company, and we are going there to meet a new customer, and everything. When I meet somebody, I try to figure out how I'm going to talk to them about NeoLife. I walked into her house. She had workout equipment. We started talking. She was a retired nutritionist. I told her that I work with NeoLife, and right away she knew about NeoLife and the integrity of the business. She was a baseball fan, and we started talking about baseball, and I told her that I'm really passionate about helping athletes. I used to be a scout, and we kind of hit it off on that level. I mentioned trying to get our proteins into schools, but money's always an issue. And just by doing that, she offered to a local junior college to pay $20,000 worth of this protein for the players, because she understands that these guys don't have the money and they're getting their hands on the wrong things. Ironically, it's a junior college that their head coach has been on Pro Vitality for the past year, and it kind of worked out nice. And he played baseball at Arizona State and has been around the game a long time. And she said, it is a little bit expensive if you want to look around for another product. And he said, absolutely not. He goes, I've been on everything. He goes, NeoLife is the best product I've ever been on. We're going to use that $20,000 and get as many shakes as we can to our athletes. So it's just, you never know. I mean, Josh has always hit on that. You just never know. It's up to us. I mean, these guys have given us a product now that we can look people in the eye and tell them we have something. You know, they're not, NeoLife's not going to invest in the big athlete to flex his bicep and put it on a label and try to sell it that way. It's up to us to go and deliver that message to people. But now we have the product to do that. And it's just exciting. You just never know who you're going to talk to and where it's going to lead. So.
Yes, absolutely. You really don't have to fear using the product and getting big muscles. It's all about how you combine the protein that you're taking and the sports products that you're taking with the specific exercises. So if you get a good combination of resistance and cardio training, you're not going to build up big muscles. You know, it's certainly extremely useful to have for women who want to tone up, to have an excellent quality protein, and the new sports protein is perfect for women and for men, for keeping your, you know, building lean muscle, keeping lean and mean, basically. So it's really about knowing what amount you need, not not over consuming for your body size and shape, and for, you know, it's all about also personalizing to get the best out of the sports pack. So definitely, I would say there's no risk of building big muscles just through using a protein, new NeoLife protein. It's not going to suddenly trigger some sort of Popeye muscle building, and don't worry about that at all. But just to comment as well, if you are struggling with losing weight and losing fat, this will assist that process, so you will really look good in your bikinis.
Sure. I've taken Biotone actually for the last couple of years. I don't know how I stumbled upon it, but I think just looking through the product catalog, I saw that it provided, I think it's 3 key amino acids. So every night the prescription is to take 4 capsules before you go to bed. So I've been doing that every single night as part of my training program and my recovery process. And like, it helps me sleep better. Like I said, I'm not as tired in the morning when I wake up. I'm not as sore. I think it also helps with lean muscle mass, and I think I'll also touch on the fact that as an older athlete, what I notice is that although I need to stay in the weight room and stay on top of the physical side of training, the nutritional side and the supplementation side is even more important and more key to being successful in my training and my competition. So the Biotone really helps with recovery and just being ready to go the next day. And I don't know, I think I've had a lot of compliments on my arms this weekend, so I think it's working. But
Can you show us?
no, not after. Actually, I'll show you my new tattoo. It's not real. Somebody from the Canadian team brought some tattoos, and I picked courage because I think your dad yesterday was speaking to courage. Somebody was speaking to courage yesterday, so that's why I picked that one. It's not real.
So, John.
Yes, absolutely. And if you think about it, it actually makes sense. I mean, it can't be any other way. Right now, every one of you that's sitting here is burning some energy, right? Your cells are doing what cells do all the time, and that's they're taking in nutrients and producing energy, and maybe if it's your pancreas, they're making some insulin or they're making some digestive enzymes, and then they eliminate the waste, and they're doing that at what's called your metabolic rate, close to your basal metabolic rate, which is just your sort of cruising metabolic rate. Now, but as soon as you get up and do something, you increase the rate at which all of those events take place. What's important to remember is they are all nutrient dependent. Every one of those energy producing events is nutrient dependent. Taking glucose and making it into energy requires B vitamins in the process. When you're making just a little energy, just a little B vitamin is going to get the job done. Same thing with vitamin C. If you're moving along and you're just at rest, you're using a little bit of vitamin C as an antioxidant. But as soon as you start building up that level of activity, you rev up your metabolism, you also rev up the need for those nutrients. Okay, you use up B vitamins faster when you're out running a marathon than you do when you're sitting on the couch watching Hawaii Five-0. Okay, unless you're really into the show. So, and that's just a reality. And the same thing goes on. The way we make energy is through an oxidation event. You breathe in oxygen, it gets taken up in your blood, transported around, goes into the cells, crosses the cell membrane, goes into the mitochondria where it reacts with things down inside there, and energy is produced. Okay, that energy produces oxidative stress. The more you're producing that energy, the greater the oxidative stress. To protect you from that oxidative stress, you need more antioxidants because they're being used up at a faster rate. So if you just apply this simple thing of like this, if you're sitting idling at a stop sign or you're using gas, okay, if you leave the stop sign and stand on the gas, is the engine using more gasoline? Well, of course it is, because it's producing more energy. Same thing applies in your body. It's 1,000,000 times more complicated, but in fact, the faster you use your metabolism, the higher level of exertion that you're involved in, the quicker and more dramatically you will deplete your available resources of vitamins and minerals and those sorts of things. Okay, well, the first thing to note is that, both of these products are really excellent products. The differences between the current NeoLife shake and the performance shake are found in the ingredients. In the performance shake, we lean a little heavier on an ingredient known as whey protein. Okay, whey protein is important because it's rich in very specific amino acids, in particular branched chain amino acids, and in particular leucine. And those amino acids are those that are most directly involved in and most important to the formation of lean body mass and the retention of lean body mass. So the reason that we focused on whey, no way. No, whey. We focused on whey was because in the athletic community, the relationship or the reputation for whey supplementation is well known. So for the athlete, very often, if you show them your protein product, they say to you, "Well, how much whey have you got?" Right? And the reasons are pretty valid in the sense that whey is known to be great for muscle building and muscle retention. So for them it plays really well, but it doesn't make one product necessarily better than the other across all applications. You sort of have to know what you're going after. If you've got somebody who just wants to lose weight and be energetic and so on and so forth, the current NeoLife shake will be just fine. But if they're more intent on training, competing, and recovering, the 3 steps of an athletic lifestyle, the 3 phases of an athletic lifestyle, if they're more intent and focused on that, then the performance shake will be the better choice.
I don't have enough time.
What if people judge me?
What if I look stupid in the class?
What if I disappoint my coach?
What if I
What if I get? What if I'm
What if I
finish? What if I get lost?
What if I'm
What if I started believing in myself?